And welcome back to Alalei. I'm Sulk and here to bring you our next build video. This is something special we managed to get our hands on. This is the Machinery Alalei. A-L-E-I. But again, this is call a spade. This is a knockoff because this is from Dr. Slump Ariel. One of Akira Toriyama's original works, which predates Dragon Ball. And this character here can solo almost the entire Dragon Ball universe. Again, if you watch Dragon Ball Super, pretty much handed Vegeta his left arm on a silver platter. So, this is from All Join Block Show, whatever that means. Again, knockoff. This is kit number 13800 with 2,273 pieces, rated for kids, rated for ages 6 through 14. So this will be the second time I'm building one of these figures, which shows a half machinery and half the actual model, or half the character itself. And if those who don't know, Ariel is an android, so kind of suits the theme. Looking at the box here itself, you can see she's holding her iconic poo on a stick, and you can see her hat trying to bypass a few knockoff issues. AR. Half an A, but come on, we all know what the rest of it says. So this is the second time actually building one of these types of kits. So if it's anything like the Astro Boy that I built, should be fairly similar, but it is a bigger box, and so I'm assuming it might be a little hiccups here and there. But there's no LED kit, so should be pretty easy. I hope. Famous last words. So can't wait to get started, and let's get into it. So getting to the box, you can see Ariel kind of just, I'm just going to call it Ariel, like, what do you want from me? You can see she stands front and center in the box. Nice little touch of design here. You see little flies around the poo. And again, her iconic smile. At the bottom here, again, they're not really hiding the fact, there's a little plaque that actually says Ariel on the hat. So, take it as you will. On the side here, it shows a little bit of silhouette of the figure. And on the other side, it actually shows a little bit of autograph. So you see Ariel here, a little Dr. Slump, and a little signature underneath it. Going to the back of the box, it actually shows her back, and the back of the poo. And you can see things can be quickly removed, a little bit of features. The arm is fully swingable, and both feet can be removed quickly, whatever that means. But it's pretty much the back of the figure. So even the Astro Boy box didn't really show on the back of it what the back of the figure looks like. So, nice little touch there, in case you were ever wondering what you're getting into. So let's open her up. So not off to a great start. One of the bags did come ripped, so the pieces did fall out a bit. Hopefully, trying to sort that out doesn't bite me in the later. Hopefully. So look at the instructions. It pretty much just jumps right into it. Good thing again, all the bags are labeled, so it should be easy to sort through. I am a little bit worried about that. So again, I'm still finding pieces just lying around here, but I haven't actually organized anything yet. So that's on me. Comes with a nice little sticker sheet. And again, unlike the previous one where everything was already printed, this it looks like I gotta actually put the stickers on. So here's the plaque, the hat, her face, and it gets different expressions. The instructions seem pretty clear. And comes with about 98 pages of instructions with 575 steps. Well, not the worst thing I built. I hope again won't be the worst thing I built. Famous last words. A little bit cause of concern about the rip bag, because again, you never know if anything fell out of the box or yeah, we'll see. So, let's get started. close-up of the finished Alalei or aerial. And you can see that this thing is a very big build and has a lot of detail on it. So let's begin with the plaque that it comes with. You gotta build it yourself. Back here, a little bit of gears, so it's all Technic pieces. And has a nice little aerial sticker on it. Shows her height, width, length. Not too sure its actual measurements of the build or her actual measurements in the anime. So there's really one thing I have to mention right off the bat, is that I am ridiculously scared of moving this build, because it is so top heavy that you would see in the video that I tried putting a head on and dropped, and it just went everywhere, and putting it back together was a mess. So I'll be extremely careful when it comes to my actual review of this. Going to the top, you can see her nice smiling face, which uses a vinyl sticker, so you can see the actual the tiles behind her, but it does a very good job of capturing her emotions. What she is holding is, again, if you know Akira Toriyama's work, it's very famous because he loves his poo. And you can see has a nice smiling face on it. A little bit of attention to detail on onto the build. Going onto the side here, her arm is actually a ratcheting joint, but since this piece of poo is so heavy, she actually can't even hold it up. You could try like turning it a little bit, but it'll instantly drop right away. Moving on to the rest of her side here, you can see what causes her to be so top heavy. Her hair is all done by, again, slanted slope tile pieces. It does an amazing job of hiding any loose studs, but the downside of that is it just makes it so heavy. As you can see, she's kind of listing to the right a bit. Let's put my hand here. And this is the back of her. You see how long the hair goes, pretty much up to her lower back. So moving on to the actual mechanical side, let's just start at the back here. You can see how much detail comes into this. All the gears, all the piping, like you name it. There's little switches, everything. Again, I can't stress enough how much detail they put into this build. Going onto her side, this is actually another ratcheting joint here and a fully articulate hand. Again, a lot of details in the gearing. You see a little piping and everything like that. We enter her front. You can see where her eye should be. Again, no loose studs anywhere you can see on this. Going to the bottom, pretty much where her heart is. More piping. Again, a lot of, again, just so much detail, even down to her leg. They did skip on, whoever designed this thing, aesthetically did an amazing job, but I honestly hate the execution. And then let's just scroll up to her hat, where you can see how much detail is here. So again, I forgot to mention in the first part of it, half of it is the aerial, and it goes across the rest of her hat itself, but you can see where it separates from the brim and the top of the hat. So you can see all the mechanical sides and the regular side. They skip a lot of the detail, because you see one side has her little feathered hat, and the other side would be the interpretation if it was all mechanical. So that concludes the close-ups of the aerial, and let's move on to the rest of the review. And we're back. This kit took approximately 6 hours to build, and as you can see, this is a massive kit. So you can see all our details here, and it comes with a nice little plaque with a vinyl sticker on it that shows a little bit of our dimensions. So this just comes, first thing you build, and comes over separately. Going into the figure itself, let's go through the good points. Again, as I reiterate the fact, this thing is huge compared to anything of these type of mechanical builds that I've built so far. This is clearly the biggest. You can see they put a lot of detail on the non-mechanical side as well as the mechanical side of it. So going into the non-mechanical side, it does such a great job of hiding every single stud. Like there's literally no loose studs that you can see on the figure. And you can also use clear vinyl stickers so you don't see any of the edges of these stickers. So you can see her face, a little bit of her hair, and you can see her half her hat. Moving on to the mechanical side of it, you can see how much detail they put a lot of care into it. That's the best way of putting it. Every little thing is just, again, it pops on it. Also, another good thing they do is that both sides, her arms are ratcheting joints, so they kind of just pop open like here, and they should stay in place theoretically. Also, fully articulate hand, which is a nice little attention to detail. So that's the good. Moving on to the bad, and I do have, needless to say, quite a few bit of issues when I was building this. First thing I want to say is that you might be able to see in the video, it might not, is that her head doesn't stay on. Even right now, just having it on the video standing like this, I keep just checking it to make sure her head doesn't suddenly tilt forward or back, because when it does go, it will just shatter. Because it did happen to me on video when I first tried to put the head on, and it is fresh in my mind that where everything went, and putting it back together was not that hard. But the worst thing you want to do is, let's say, put it on the stand or put it on your shelf, and this thing just drops and just shatters to 1,000 pieces. Good luck trying to remember where everything went. So what I did kind of do to make it stand a little bit better is remove two of the cylindrical pieces that are holding up her neck. So right now it is sitting flush and it's studs that are holding it up. So a little bit more stability. But if you can find a better way of doing it, or putting stands behind her just to support the weight of the head, more power to you. But for me, if it goes on the shelf, she is going to be decapitated. Don't want to worry a few people here, but it's so easy to just put on back to its base. But you run that risk yourself. Don't say I didn't warn you. Another issue I had was that, especially on the mechanical side, is that when they repainted all these little bits and pieces, all these little tubes here, is that they didn't take into account for the tolerances of the round pieces. These little 1x1s that you kind of see around it. You will actually see in the video that in order for me to properly slide these actual round pieces onto the tubes, I literally had to put like a nice solid base and use a weight to kind of slam it down in order for it actually to go into place, or it won't actually fit onto these clips here. Another issue I also had with it is that even though it does come with ratcheting joints, this poo piece is so weighted that no matter what you do, gravity's going to take its toll and naturally drop. So the problem I had when I tried displaying it was that I kind of had her arm face like this with the head on, and instantly dropped and shifted all the way forward. And that was a nightmare to say the least. But again, if you could find a best way of keeping it on your shelf or having stands to hold everything up, it is a very nice display piece. But right now we are having that issue where I'm trying to figure out still how to properly mount the head without it falling off or having any gravity kind of take its toll on this figure, that she will be displayed decapitated. Hate to say it. But all in all, if you find those solutions to those problems, by all means, it does a very good job of just showing everything. And you can see by the sheer size of it that even compared to even the bear bots or even the Astro Boy I have behind me, even without her head on, it's, oh yeah, see, look, it kind of is falling apart a bit just trying to hold it up. But yeah, even with her head off, she kind of does will tower over everything else you have. Oh, but it actually goes back to another issue I have with it. Flimsy is kind of the key word I would like to say, as much as I hate to say it, because yeah, this stuff is only really held on by one stud when they have clearly room for more than one. Like more than one of these Technic pieces to keep everything together. But I don't know if they kind of cheaped out or tolerances maybe that they're not actually snug. But all in all, that is my review of this piece. And that about wraps up my video of my review and my build. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, if you like this kind of content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification for more updates. And also want to mention that our website is up and running at conquestletter.com. And not only are we doing all the building on it, but we are having a little bit of a merchandising store. So we do fully custom prints, and if you want to give us your artwork or anything like that, you want to print on t-shirts or any type of medium, we can get it done. Just shoot us a message there, or even put a comment in our video. Another thing I want to mention is that all our social medias are up and running, so don't forget to follow and like us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. For, again, any little bit does help the channel, and it allows us to, again, know that people appreciate what we're doing and makes us produce more content. Well, that's about it for me. Until then, I'm Sulk, and have fun building, y'all. Laters.